You have nothing in your saddle?
Well, in your saddlebags. Yeah, that's what I meant. Shut up.
Hello, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Hi.
Syko and Rain, the real Rain.
Yay.
Not the Steve Rain.
So pretty.
Back here for another episode of Minecraft featuring us. And today I got a little bit of morning voice because it is the weekend of the 4th of July. And we'll be getting to what happened for us on that in a little bit, along with a new project. But right now, Rain needs to...
Name my horse.
Name your horse.
And being as this is my horse, this horse is...
doomed. Wah, wah, wah. Actually, I think I like mine better.
Jack?
No. My name suggestion for you yesterday, you asked me what you should name your horse, and I said second.
Because it'll be my second horse, and then I can name one third.
Third, and so on and so forth.
I thought doomed was appropriate.
Yeah. I wish there was a collision mask with animals. I could have jumped on the pig and then jumped on the roof. That would have been kind of cool.
That would be fun. Oh, how come you can make that jump and I can't?
Because I'm good at this game.
I am no good at parkour.
I'm very good at this video game.
There we go.
So the wife and I are going to get some supplies together, and we're going to meet you over in the city for a new project we're working on. I'm very excited about it. It may have something to do with what I saw on one of the recent snapshots as to why I decided to do this now.
May very well have something to do with that, yeah.
As you know, we do not play on the snapshots, but that doesn't mean we don't get a glimpse as to what is going to be available to us in the future.
And prepare for them accordingly.
Right? So in the recent snapshot, there was some stuff in there. I think it was the most recent. It might have been prior. But one of the things that stuck out to me, out of all the things that they are going to be what the heck? Introducing. Why are they out?
I don't know.
Was that sheep are finally going to drop meat. That's right.
Escape their cages.
Sheep are going to be able to drop mutton chops or whatever. Do you have wheat on you still to
don't have
lead
wheat
these
on
guys
me,
in?
no. I'll go grab some.
Well, one just went in by himself.
No, almost in.
He's in. There we go. So, our thought process is we were going to have a sheep farm, but we were going to do it differently because sheep could only be... A couple of leads, too, would work.
Okay.
Maybe it's just there's so many in here they found their way through using the wool thing, the wool trick.
Oh, I suppose like if they stood on each other, then they could stand on the carpet.
No, they can just walk right over it. They just don't know.
Oh.
No, they don't. They treat it like a fence, but if they're getting pushed to it, they would get pushed out.
We're breeding super intelligent sheep, you say?
Yeah. Babe, we only got one left. Need to go in now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna grab some wheat and keep it on me anyway, just in case it happens again.
Oh, never mind. There's two. All right. There's another one in. Sidetracked. Okay, so
look, something shiny.
In the snapshot, they said we can make mutton chops finally out of sheep. So we're gonna go ahead and do this up, preparing for when that releases and the ability is there, knowing that we're gonna be able to turn sheep not only into wool but into meat if we kill them. That's right, I said kill. And we'll get further into that as we get into the project, but as you can see, we are preparing ourselves for the sheep farm. This is one of the larger blocks, city blocks, if you will. I made it a couple of larger sizes to make different structure sizes. Case in point being, this guy right here takes up the same amount of space as 4 of these guys do. Well, we're going to do the similar thing. We got 2 of these big ones right side by side. So this one's going to be one giant building, and then this is probably going to be 4 buildings in this one. I'm trying to add some diversity into the sizes and shapes of things and really get a depth into the city build. So when you're looking from a far and a high distance, you can immediately see all these different sizes and shapes popping out at you. So,
and it kind of makes it look like the city grew over time, like it wasn't all built at the same time. If you have all things that are different sizes, shapes, different building materials, you want it to make it look like the city's really old. It's been there for a long time. It's grown up and changed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and laid out a whole bunch of stuff ahead of time. We got this random stuff with a whole bunch of mossy stone brick, and the mossy stone brick is a heck of a lot more prevalent in the strongholds than the cracked is. So there is a few cracked in here, but we're going to use that sparingly, more so around areas that are being destroyed and whatnot. But we have a layout set up here. Everything is set up to where we want to be with this, and the reason why it is sitting like this is because buildings such as this tend to have a lot of glass. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go ahead and be using glass, and the majority of the color will be the brown color because it just looks like dirty glass.
Right.
We're going to have some gray mixed into there because it still has a dirty tinge or whatever to it. It's still not pristine glass, but it makes it look like it may have been windblown or not quite as encroached by Mother Nature. And then even crazier, we're going to look into using some of the cactus green stained glass. Now my idea with this is I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this right now, is to take this and match it up only where we have moss. So if you look in the buildings here, we have moss in that, we have moss on that, we got moss right there, right there, right there, and that will be how we figure out where the green glass is going. These are going to be a 3x4, so essentially what I want to do is have like the center have 1 or 2 gray spots in it, and then the majority of it wrapped in brown, like the dirt and stuff has been pushed up against the ledges of the stone brick.
Okay.
And we'll get I'm hoping, a pretty cool look to it doing it this way. So we're going to start working on that, and we'll cut in and out, tell you about our 4th of July as we're building along. I also grabbed some stuff to make a temporary ladder system up and down because we're not going to be working on the interior of the space today, but we hopefully at the end of this episode we will have the exterior completely built.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's go to sleep.
Yeah, let's go hit the beds. So we've got the first level done. Give you a better idea as to what we're doing here. We went ahead and decided to do, instead of doors, because typically in skyscrapers they have glass doors of some sort,
right,
whether
like
it be draw doors or sliders or what have you. We can't do that without showing pistons somehow. And
your pistons are showing. Sorry.
That's kind of you're hilarious.
Sometimes I get to talk too. All right.
Just walk away.
No, that was actually running away, so he didn't hit me.
Oh, okay. So we just went ahead and left some openings up, and they're kind of randomly placed. So we're just gonna have to try to remember where they're at, because if you're not paying attention, then, they're not terrible. But if you're just running by, you're probably gonna miss them a few times. But we have a couple in this corner. We have one over there, and we have one over there. Give us a decent amount. This is one level, and I've gone back and forth if I wanted to do 2 bricks tall in between the levels or 1 brick tall. Well, I think 2 bricks tall is going to mess up the feel. Mm-hmm. But the problem with this is I don't know how I want to do the flooring. And the only solution I came up with this, and this is only going to work partially, because at some point in time we're going to have to implement grass into this, because we're going to have sheep in here.
Right.
But what I've come up with is I can put the ceiling at this 4-foot level on this one at least, the first level here. Use a white, like snow or something like that.
Right.
And then I can put carpet on the top of it. And that will give me a dark color for the floor and a light color for the ceiling.
So I need to go talk to Snowy the Frostman, huh?
Well, we don't have to worry about that right now because we're just going to do the exterior.
Oh, okay. We're not going to put in the floors even? Okay.
If you would like to have a walkway, I suppose, around, we could do that. But I'm adding the ladder. I think we'll be all right.
Maybe if you put a ladder in that corner too, because it's a long run around.
I don't know how tall it's gonna be.
Right.
So I don't know if I'm gonna run out of ladder or not.
Okay. All right.
And
well,
what, are you worried about running out of breath?
yes, I am. As a matter of fact.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this next level. While we're doing that, we're gonna go ahead and let you in on what we did a little bit for the 4th here.
We did stuff? I don't remember any of it.
We did stuff. You don't remember any of it? Oh, that's a shame. I was gonna have you tell them about it.
Well, I must have had a really good time if I don't remember, right?
I know very well that you didn't have that good of a time.
That's true. I mean, I had a very good time. We hung out with our neighbors and watched fireworks, and Kenny made some amazing pulled pork.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just kind of all hung out, played, did neighborhood stuff, barbecue, fireworks, the typical 4th of July stuff.
Well, it was one of those deals where we're going into it, we didn't really know what we were going to be doing this year. And as it got closer and closer, I was just like, I don't really want to make plans. I don't want to make plans. Let's not make any plans. So that's basically what I went with. And I'm kind of glad we did, because we ended up doing stuff with the neighbors. And we've talked about doing it this last year. We came home fairly early last year and hung out with them for fireworks celebrations a little bit. And then that was about it. But making a community where you live is fairly important, in my opinion. You have a lot lower risk of something happening to your house while you're gone if everybody in the neighborhood knows you. That means everybody's taking a chance and looking out for you. Mm-hmm. Now you have to keep in mind, you don't let everybody come into your household and see what you have around the house and stuff like that, because that does provide an opportunity, especially for, let's face it, the young folks that live in the neighborhood, to know
those teenagers
what you have
kids
in the home, and they're like, "Ooh, I wouldn't mind having that." Something's wrong here. 1, 2, 3. Put that in the wrong spot.
Yes, you did. It's nighttime. Do you want to go to bed, or do you want us to work up here?
I think we'll be all right.
Okay.
As far as I know, zombies can't climb ladders.
Well, last time I checked, they couldn't.
Their pathfinding is good enough that they will find their way in, but it's fairly lit around here.
Oh, sounds like a plan.
Alright. So, the neighbor and I have basically, since he moved in, have been talking off and on, and we have some common interests. We both have been fairly avid 4x4 enthusiasts in the past. Both have kind of recently gotten out of it, although he still at least has a rig. I sold mine. I am no longer card member, I guess.
Part of that community.
Yeah. Time to move on and do other things. I wanted to start traveling, like YouTube videos. They do take up a lot of time, don't they?
They do.
I wanted to start traveling with the family, and that was kind of the reason why we did the Arizona trip, was to see if we could start doing this. My eventual goal is to purchase a vehicle that has enough amenities to make it, across country, and us not having to worry about necessarily getting a hotel room. And to get to that point takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of money, because those kind of vehicles, expedition vehicles, if you will, are not cheap. But
they're worth it, though.
In the long run, they pay off. And guess what? Oh, he spawned up here.
Who?
The zombie. We're gonna have to go, Sleepy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna jump over or not. I'll just jump down and run. Bye! It's looking pretty good.
I think so.
Looking pretty good. Yeah, so we were talking about the 4th of July and what we were doing on that. One of the things that I always try to remember, ever since I was aware of it, I have a Costco membership. And people seem to forget that Costco sells pretty much everything at some point in time. And this includes fireworks. So we went to Costco, I think it was on Tuesday I went in there to see what they had available for different firework plans, and they did change it up from what they had last year. I don't know if it was just, you know, some executive decision or if they changed companies or what happened there, but we still ended up coming up with a pretty cool setup. Spent $100 and got a whole bunch of cakes, I think they're called, where there's a whole bunch of stuff put together, pre-made mortar type situations, and it was 14 pieces for $100. And I mean, like, I think the smallest one was like a 6-shot, the most was like a 25-shot. And when I was younger, I loved doing
individual mortars.
Yeah, all the mortars. But man, as I'm getting older, I don't like doing all the running around.
Because you're old.
I still like the big booms that the standalone mortars give you versus the cakes. They tend to be smaller. But I am, as you said, I am getting old and not wanting to move around as much. So, you know, my birthday's coming up. This
Saturday.
Upcoming Saturday. I will be 35 years old. Or 35 years young, depending on how you look at it.
Old.
Right? So, as you can see, we got 2 levels done, and if you look next to us here, we're encroaching now where we're going to be visible to the orb. And the thought process behind this is every single time we start seeing the orb over buildings, that means there's going to be more explosions. Now, I'm going to be putting a building in here that will be fairly tall. Because this building is going to be so tall, I want to get some good steps to the structures. So that's going to mask this a little bit more. But we have to keep in mind now, if we look at this corner here, we're probably going to have to do some destruction over in this corner. That means I need to go grab some...
I have metal bars on me.
You have metal bars and cracked?
No,
okay.
I just got the metal bars.
So I'm going to go grab some cracked stone brick, and then this corner right here, we're going to do a little bit of explosions out of, and we're going to start seeing a little bit of glass disappearing and stuff like that.
Just that corner? I was thinking that...
Just that corner.
Okay, alright.
So this is still going to... The third floor will still be a usable space. We're planning on probably putting the sheep on this level. So, I want to keep it as whole as possible. That being said, that I have to keep that in mind when I build this and even some of these things to make sure that they would mask accordingly. And then from that point on, we're going to see more and more and more destruction to the point where once we get to the top layers of this, you can't really tell how many stories it is because so much of it has been destroyed. So that's the plan on that one. I'm going to go grab the supplies and we'll continue on. So we have gotten into the destruction construction. And you look at the front face here, I took that corner and hacked it up pretty good as I had mentioned I was going to. I'm going to do a little bit of damage to the other side so it looks like there's stuff that had been shot through. But I want to leave the structure in place here because it's still got to be carrying the load up above it. So we need to have a compromise of destruction,
but not destructed.
But yeah, structure still. So this front here has a little bit of damage into it because of where we are here, and then as I mentioned, that section over there is going to be a little bit taller. Let's see if I can make this jump. Nope. This section over here is going to be a little bit taller to help block some of that out. But then we're going to refocus because the orb is quasi-directional this way. The destruction is going to start kind of on this corner now and do one of these things in a bowl shape kind of towards each section. So the opposite corner of this will be the least destroyed and this will be the most destroyed. This being the last level floor that we're going to be using for the sheep stuff itself, we can start thinking about how much glass is going to be gone and how we want to do that. We have implemented a few glass panes here and there to kind of give a shattered look, and I think it's going to work for us. It definitely shows different depths, which always adds structure to the build. If you look at this one right here, that one's got quite a few panes in it, and I think we can make this work for us. I am a bit concerned as I'm seeing this get built. It's got a little bit too much brown and green in it, which is something that I've seen happen a little too much throughout this whole thing, but it's because when you look at a city, you're used to seeing metal and black and
yeah, even some kind of bluish tones, but you can't really get that.
But if you look at like I think it was like a history series or something like that, like I can't remember what it was called, but basically the concept was what would happen if people disappeared.
Oh
and what
yeah,
would happen.
It was Earth after people or something like that.
And how quickly nature would take back over things. So you're gonna lose a lot of the metallic and excuse me, metallic and industrial feeling or people-made feeling, manufactured feeling colors are going to disappear. It's just the way it works. All right, let's get back to this and see what we can come up with, shall we? All right, folks, as you can see, we have completed our structure. We got a pretty good layout there, enough decimation on the stone, but I think we need to go back after we start getting some floor remnants in and whatnot, and take out some more of the glass, particularly on the upper layers.
Makes sense.
Just after spending some time looking at it, I thought it was a little too whole. You know what I mean?
Too many holes?
Yes, too many holes. Said no man ever.
Siri, gross. You're awful.
So we got the structure done. That's pretty much the look I was going for. Because of the sheer size of this building, realistically, you could go on twice the height of this.
Right, because how big it is.
And pulled it off no problem. But I think that would be a little overkill for what we have for the rest of the cityscape. But I want you guys to take note of this size and the view I gave you from back there. You can get definition and texture very, very easily. You just pull them back. So if I was to make a skyscraper adding, well, this is on the back side, I think it's 6 tall. 6 tall. So that'd be
just on
12 tall.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that no problem and pull it off. It would be epic. If you want to do a creative world, I'm sure that there's been creative worlds that have done such large structures. You could definitely pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. It kind of makes some of the other stuff I did look kind of poopy.
That's because I did most of this.
Huh?
Nothing, honey.
What?
Just kidding. Nothing.
Anyway, so next episode we're going to work on figuring out what we're going to do with the sheeps, and I have a few ideas. At least that's the plan, unless something else comes up along the way. We can take down the sand ladder system after we get the floors put in place. That way we still have a way to get up and down.
Right, and then we need a stairwell to get the sheep up, right? Because the sheep are supposed to go up.
We'll figure it out. Probably use like a water elevator, would be easiest.
If you want to drown sheep, it's easiest. Sure.
Give them air pockets. They like to swim. I have noticed also in our recordings that we have a bit of an echo. I'm going to try to work on figuring out how to change that up so it doesn't happen anymore. But hopefully you guys are still happy to have us here. We are back in it and enjoying ourselves. Mm-hmm. And
I want to go find more diamonds.
You always want to go find more diamonds.
I like diamonds, and I only have 8 diamond blocks.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. And I will see you next time.
Bye, guys.